Everyone says your network is your net worth. But what if it's not about how many people you know, but how well you know them? Well, today I got Alex, and he joins me to talk about the power of purposeful connections in both business and in life. We'll be right back.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
So I have this gentleman. He's going to talk about what if your next breakthrough in your business is not about who you know or even what you sell, but maybe who you choose to build it with. So Alex, can you please enlighten us a little bit? Should we know what we're talking about? Should we know what we're selling, or is it about the who and not the how?
Honestly, it's a lot of that, what you just mentioned, but it's who you know, and I would also say who knows you in today's
Mm-hmm.
world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might know a lot of people, that's one thing, but do they really know you at the same time?
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is I've attended a lot of different networking events. I would say I would go to 2 or 3 networking events per week prior to COVID, and
Mm.
some of those events were I would say too cold, too dry. Those little salesy, like you go there and people start exchanging business cards, and it's like trying to sell it right there and then, and it didn't feel okay.
Mm.
And then I remember I went to, so I met my wife. We met online. I went to see her. She lived in Phoenix at that time.
Mm.
Um, so I met in person, and then while I was in Phoenix, I saw there was a group of entrepreneurs basically. It's called Arizona Entrepreneurs. So it started by Devin. He moved to Arizona 3 years ago, or like 40 years at this point.
Mm.
So he didn't really know anyone, and he wanted to build a community. And
Okay.
when I came to that event, at that point, I think it was a 3 year anniversary that they had.
Mm.
Uh, the type of people that I met there, and the energy and the vibe and all of that, it felt like everyone knew each other. It felt more like a family. It wasn't necessarily like, yes, you go there to do business, but first of all, you go there to build relationships
Mm.
within that community, and then of course business will follow.
Right.
And that's the type of networking I liked. So when I came back to Montreal, where I lived for 10 years, now moved to Ottawa, my business partner and I, we run a marketing training company. And I always wanted to start something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that idea. So Arizona Entrepreneurs was an inspiration, and we decided to start our own.
Mm.
So in the beginning, we called it Montreal Unite because it started in Montreal. Um, and then at some point, it was in summer last year, we were sitting brainstorming. I think it was like Saturday or Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
um, and an idea came into my mind. I was like, "What if we built a bigger community all around Canada?" So I started digging. I found this domain name, CanadianEntrepreneurs.ca. I don't know how it was available.
Right. Right.
So yeah, we got that, and then now we started hosting more and more and more events. And the goal of those events is to literally build a community. So those are simple networking events, about 3 hours long, where people come, they have fun, they build relationships, friendships. We've actually, our first event inspired another guy who we became good friends with now, and they started their event, and I attended their previous one 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So yeah, like that kind of started. That kind of became even a bigger thing. So our goal to build a community became a real thing now.
Mm.
And at this point, we host events in Montreal, Ottawa. Our plan is to do it in Toronto. So the goal is to do it an event per month. So an event per city per quarter, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, it can be even bigger. And the whole point is to literally build a community of people that come together, like you can send DMs on Instagram or LinkedIn, send connection requests. And trust me, I'm doing all of that. I'm a marketer myself, and we teach our clients, we help them set up all the systems.
Right.
That's important. But then again, when you meet in person,
Hmm.
that's completely different.
So I think there's something that you said that I'm not sure if people really caught, but I think people don't understand how to feel in this space because you get intimidated going to some of these networking events. You don't know anybody. You're assuming that you're out of their league, right?
Hmm.
Because of, hey, I'm just starting out. Maybe I'm an introvert. Maybe my competition is here and I'm not sure if I measure up to where they are. And but there's something, a key word that I think you mentioned, which is the feeling like family.
Hmm.
A lot of times we don't feel that connection of family. So how important was that for you? Just that one little feeling to say, hey, you know what? I like this and I want to duplicate it across Canada, not just in Montreal, but across Canada.
Yeah. So honestly, that feeling, because I had that feeling at that event, I got to really connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say they had about 100 people at that event that I attended. Out of 100 people, I connected with five, maybe six, but I really connected with them on
Mm-hmm.
a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say connected, also it doesn't mean that we just talk about business. No,
Right.
most of the times it really goes into more personal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, a lot of times it's sports because I love sports. I've been practicing taekwondo for 15 years. I even ran my school part time in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like I've done a bunch of things, and you always find common interests,
Mm-hmm.
like especially in today's world. And connecting on a personal level makes a huge difference. And even like let's say in case with our events,
Mm-hmm.
what we're starting to do now, of course, we have a photographer who would take the pictures of the event, of the energy. Now we're starting to have a live DJ.
Mm.
So the previous event we had a live DJ. That was a lot of fun too,
Mm.
because yes, we could put whatever music we want.
Right.
It also depends on the venue, of course.
Right.
If it's at a restaurant, it's a little harder to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, having someone like performing live,
Mm-hmm.
like now we're thinking maybe getting someone who's going to play guitar,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I've been to different events. Like some of them are higher end. We don't
Right.
necessarily go for the high end events
Mm-hmm.
status,
Mm-hmm.
but we just want to build a community.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at putting together an event, as you said, something as music, because music is mostly universal.
Yeah, yeah,
People that touches a little bit of everybody.
yeah,
And if you have it live, what you're talking about, sometimes they could kind of feel the energy. You
yeah.
know, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
they could keep the energy high or low or mild, and whatever is going on.
yeah.
But again, that's another part of an event that brings connection, that brings family, because a lot of times we go to family dinners, we have music, we got
That's it. You have food, yeah, yeah, drinks, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. I
you
didn't
know,
even. Yeah,
so I think that's what you're talking about, where it brings the anxiety down to say, you know what, just like I do this situation here in my house for a birthday party, a christening, a baby shower, I could do it for my friends on a business level.
yeah.
So I think that's something that what you've done or what you've created is just something that you love to do. And so how would you expect for someone to say, hey, you know what, I really love to do this. How do I now have the energy, get out of my shell, get out of my box to do something like that and approach it? Especially when you said something, I give you a nugget, which is the website. That domain is available, because you expect somebody else to already do it. So how do you get that energy to do something that you think you're expecting for someone else to already be doing?
Honestly, don't overcomplicate things. Like we as human beings like to overcomplicate things in our head, especially as entrepreneurs, because you think, oh, I could do it this way, that way, this would be cool, and that thing, and then you start thinking about it, but then not necessarily. putting in the work,
Mhm.
but what really counts is action. So just start as simple like I'll give you a perfect example.
Mhm.
So I met a guy at one of the events. I told him that we started hosting our events. I was here in Ottawa, and I told him that we're going to host another one. Um, he got excited as well. So he, after that event, we met in person.
Mhm.
He's in finance, so he's kind of. We work with a lot of financial advisors. So I just shared a couple of tips, strategies for him to use,
Okay.
and we started talking about different things. Like I like talking about finance, money, money management, and everything in between.
Mhm.
So again, it clicked there.
Mm.
And then after that, we started talking about the events, and I shared like this is how we started, and
Mhm.
this is where we are today. And then a couple of weeks later, I think, he called me again. He was like, "Alex, can we meet? Can we have another meeting?" I'm like, "Sure." So we met again. He's like, "You know what? You made me think of hosting my own events." I was like,
Nice.
"Cool, that's amazing. Like, I'm happy to hear that." So yeah, he basically asked me like, "Oh, what do you think I should do?" In the beginning, so in the beginning, he started with host. He hosted a free event.
Mhm.
He found a space. He partnered up with them. I think he paid for coffee and some sweets,
Mhm.
like nothing too crazy. Maybe it would cost him $100. He put
Mm.
it up on Eventbrite. He had 15 people who either registered or showed up.
Mm.
Some people didn't show up, of course, because so the trick with the free event is most. I'm not gonna say most people, but some people that register, they're not gonna show up. You can expect that
Right.
because if like I like the saying, and I'm sure you've heard it: if you pay, you pay attention.
Yeah. Mhm.
So after that, he decided to start charging even $10. Like
Mhm.
the thing because the moment somebody takes out a credit card and pays for something, they already have this commitment, like the
Right.
buy-in.
Right.
And let's say coming to the event, let's say the date is, I don't know, June 30th. And it's like June 29th, they're like, should I go? Shouldn't? But I already paid. So
Right.
that's like a little bit of a commitment. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I would say do like the first event could be free
Mhm.
for you to try to see what it looks like.
Right.
The second one, do it maybe not too expensive.
Mhm.
But again, it depends. If you want it to be an experience, you can put it like $50 easily.
Mm.
Like people are okay with paying $50 for that.
Right. Now, Alex, so inadvertently you transformed this guy's life. You didn't expect it, right?
Yeah,
You
honestly,
know,
yeah,
because you're having that conversation is you being you, your
yeah.
authentic self. Hey, I love to talk about money. I love to do whatever it is. It just so happened we transitioned a little bit. However, the conversation had gone into doing events and things like that. And as individual, you influence them to do that. And sometimes in these networking situations, we
Hmm.
don't understand the power of our voice in our interest because you could just say, hey, it's a hobby of mine. I just do it on the side. But we don't know how important that could be for someone else.
Hmm.
So for someone like that, where you encourage them, influence them, you'll transform them to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do my own event. How does that feel for you to say, hey, I made a difference in at least one person?
It feels really good, and I'll tell you why. So he's actually so at this point, I guess he's the second person now because the first guy that I told you about the event that I went to, so he already hosted two events, so I couldn't go to the previous two.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, I was like, okay, I'll make it work. So I was able to attend it,
Mm-hmm.
and so the way he runs it, similar way as we do. And I've met there so many people that attended our event. So I come up to him. I'm like, no, I was talking to another guy at the event, and I'm like, I see so many familiar faces because they see me, they wave, and I'm like, yeah, hi. Um, and I'm like, so we've done all the marketing for you, and you just brought all those guys to your event. That's like an inside joke now. But so yeah, so he started those events. But
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking because I know that he runs a mortgage company,
Mm.
and I know that he has a partner within his agency. And he told me that it's with he partner up, so they do it together.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the event, in the middle of the event, he basically introduced some of the sponsors,
Okay.
said, "Hey, thanks for coming to the event," yada yada yada. And then he says, "And thank you to Randy, who's his partner." And that's when I realized when he was telling me about the partner. So he met Randy at our first event where he came to.
Mm.
So they liked the event itself, so they decided to partner up together. So in
Wow.
that case, it's two guys, and then now this is like a third guy in a way. So yeah, it's becoming like a real thing. Like honestly, we didn't expect that. Like our goal was to build a community for
Hmm.
people to come have fun, and have a great experience. So now we realize this is what people like. It's the experience because that's what they remember. It's like that saying, right? It doesn't matter what you say to people. It's how you make them feel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's exactly it. Yeah.
And I brought that part up because a lot of times we don't think that the general conversation can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to say, "Hey, we know this and we know that," and we have to show that we are expert. But in something like this, just a very simple, common denominator connection transform a whole situation. Now, like you said, now you're building such a community
Mm-hmm.
that anytime you walk in, I'm pretty sure you'll be like they expect for you to walk in with like a mink coat, sunglasses.
Honestly, yeah. Like at the previous event, so at his event, I came in, and people see me, and they're like, "Hey, Alex, this and that." And I'm like, after that, I call my business partner. I'm like, I felt like a local star.
But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes these things we take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand the real importance of these things. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you about that, building that connection. This perfect harmony of family or community, because we don't realize, one, people still need it. Like you said, COVID kind of threw everything off, but we're still that creature on earth that needs that community, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're touchy
Yeah.
feely,
Yeah.
no matter how much we want to fight it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it was very important for us to talk about it from that perspective. Hey, Alex, here is your what you did, but now you transformed something. You started something that transformed into something that you never even imagined was going to be possible.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have we heard, i.e., the name of the podcast, that's not going to happen. That'll never work, right?
Yeah.
And so Alex, how would you encourage someone today to say, you know what, it is possible, no matter what the situation
It's 100% possible. I mean, we are the proof in a way. Like we
is?
just decided to start it, and then we wanted to see what it's going to look like. I had this vision in a way about the experience that I had back in
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, and yeah, I wanted to recreate that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what happened. Like the entire goal is to, like, at least in our case, again, is for people to come and not feel like it's a sales pitch. It's a pitch fest. That's what I call it. And then that's what I tell people, like at
Right.
about in the middle of the event, just grab the mic, introduce ourselves, explain who we are,
Mm-hmm.
what the communities of the Canadian entrepreneurs is all about.
Right.
And I tell them it's not a pitch fest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you guys to walk around here and try to sell to each other right away. Build connections, build relationships, because that's what matters.
And you said at the event that you attended, it might have been 100 people, but you connected with five,
Yeah.
right? And that's the five people you were destined to talk to. Those
Mm-hmm.
are five people that got you to another level. You get what I mean? So sometimes we think we have to speak to any and everybody, and probably the biggest names in the room, but yet those are ones that's just thrown up in your face. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know everybody that's standing over in the corner paying attention to you. You get what I mean? you
Yeah.
know,
One
you
hundred
know.
percent.
And so I thank you very much for sharing your story, your journey, because I think that's way more impactful than saying, "Hey, I'm teaching $100 million people." You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the grassroots mentality. It's hey, you could start from here. There's something that you love, turn it into a family, and now you could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, like in case with events, that's what I noticed. There are different Also different models,
Mm-hmm.
like different event models. Because I remember we hosted our, I think it was either fourth or the fifth event, and again, it was like it's $50. People get drinks, food. Like we need to cover the venue, all of that, the marketing, the ad spend. Um, and then somebody mentioned in the comments in the ad, it's like, oh, there are no speakers. Like, and if you're trying to make money out of this event, change your business model. And I'm like, change the business model. Like, I'm not trying to make money from the event. Like, if we're breaking even, that's amazing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the goal is to build a community. Yes, we do have our company that we run, and then if somebody wants to learn more about us, sure, we can chat about that. Um, but then also, yes, you can get sponsors, and then that can become even a bigger thing. So it really depends on how you want to, like, what's the end goal of that. Like, if you're planning to make money from events, yeah, then you should definitely get sponsors. Maybe reach out to local banks, local, or even national banks, local companies that want to promote themselves, because you're doing all the heavy work, all the heavy lifting. You bring all the people in. Let's say it's 50. Let's say it's 100 people.
Right.
Now you have those sponsors. Now, yes, you can send. Well, all the sponsors can talk to those people in
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you feature them on social media and emails, ads, everywhere, well, throughout the event as well.
Right.
And you can also give them the entire list of everyone who came to the event or
Mm-hmm.
registered for the event.
Mm-hmm.
And now they can follow up with those people. So for sponsors, it's kind of a no brainer as well, because they don't necessarily do much,
Right.
because you're the one who puts it all together and you're being paid for that in a way. But yeah, it really depends what type of model you want to follow.
And when someone give you that type of advice, because a lot of times people think that, hey, you have to do what the next person has done
Mm.
in order for you to be successful. Not really possibly speaking to you and say, hey, Alex, what is your what is your goal,
Yeah.
right? What is your desired outcome? And or maybe it's not just you as an individual, but what of your group? What is
Hmm.
the group's desired outcome? So if we just want to bring people together, do we have to be so formal and have speakers? You know, so I think those are the type of things where it's like, hey, I don't have to be like the very next person.
Hmm.
I stay who I am, stay true to myself, and be as authentic as I can to any and everybody that I meet and talk to.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It really depends. What's your goal? Maybe the values that you have also.
Mm-hmm.
How you see
Right.
relationships building. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Right. But Alex, man, I appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for having me on.
Sure, no problem. So if someone is out there though and they want to do similar to what you're doing, and want to get over the hump, where can they find you and talk to you about any of this type of stuff?
They can reach out pretty much on every social media platform. It's at Alex Thoric.
Okay. All right. And
Yeah.
now, of course, y'all, any of you that's out there driving, walking, whatever it is, of course, you know that it'll be in the show notes. But Alex, before I let you go, man, I gotta ask you my world famous question, my would you rather question, right? So, Alex, well, actually, I'm gonna ask you two questions. I'm gonna ask you the original question.
Okay.
All right, and the original question is: would you rather choose three doors or a fork in the road?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know. now,
I
now, if
know.
you had to use your imagination,
Yeah.
no rules, no
Yeah.
rules, and
Yeah.
I ask you that same question, well, would your answer change? Because, like you said, you're not sure. So, are you still in
So,
that space?
so the fork in the road or
Three doors.
three doors? Three doors.
Three doors.
Yeah.
And so, why the three doors?
Because I can choose any of those and find an opportunity for myself.
That's why I had to say, and I forgot about that part, and I apologize for that. I was saying there's no rules because there's no
Yeah.
right or wrong answer, right?
Yeah.
But because a lot of times we put ourselves in a box,
Mm-hmm.
we're not sure which way to go or what to do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna ask you the other question.
I love it. It's like it's like that. Have you seen the nine dots? There are nine dots,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to connect them
Yeah.
without lifting the finger,
Yes.
the pen. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Because, again, we're constrained by a certain formality or whatever it is, and not understanding like, hey, the rules can be built a little bit, or we need to think outside the box to get to the end goal. But the other question is based off of my other show. Another podcast called the No Fruit Podcast with my wife, and that one because it's funny, you stated about having live music at one of your shows, someone playing guitar, and you have a guitar basically in your background, right? That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm learning. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this question then: if you could sing a duet with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, do it with anyone dead or alive. I would say I'm listening to this guy Mark Arbor. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I haven't.
He has a similar style to Ed Sheeran, but more of an upbeat, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say with him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check him out. Him out. But Alex, man, I thank you for coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on. I had a lot of fun.
That's cool. And of course, y'all, like I stated, all the information will be in the show notes. And we thank y'all very much for listening. And I'll talk to y'all just a little bit later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chism on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?